Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you want to go vigilante. I don't know why I'm doing a big crazy announcement, but I've been watching a lot of ball, so I'm talking like a baseball announcer. I have to waste a lot of time between pitches, ball two. Anyway, yeah, we've been demonetized. We've now gotten a copyright strike from our overlords over at CIA Tube. And one of the videos they took down was a video about Bill Gates and the COVID vaccine. And they said it was medical misinformation. Now, I didn't create, I just repeated stuff that was in like Salon and The Guardian. Well, gee, there's more news about Bill Gates. So I wonder if this is if I'm going to be taken down for this story that is in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and Bloomberg. Which is this. Bill and Melinda Gates announcing they're getting a divorce. And whoa, wait a minute. Melinda Gates was meeting with divorce lawyers since 2019 to end marriage with Bill Gates. The philanthropist had discussed with lawyers on October 19 around when the Microsoft founder's ties to Jeffrey Epstein became public. So she's been working on this divorce since the summer of 19. When Epstein got arrested in July of 19 and all this stuff, his ties to Trump, his ties to Bill Clinton, his ties to Hillary Clinton, and his ties to Bill Gates. I've talked about Bill Gates' ties to Epstein numerous times. I talked about it in that video that they pulled down saying medical misinformation. The 56-year-old philanthropist has been working with lawyers at several firms since at least 2019 to unwind the marriage of more than 25 years. Melinda Gates has been working since at least 2019. You know, where Bill Gates said, I didn't know Jeffrey. I just met him. And it's like, we've had Whitney Webb on the show to show evidence that goes back to 1997, not 2011 or whatever. The couple hasn't said what prompted the split. One source of concern for Mrs. Gates was her husband's dealings with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, according to the People and a former employee of the Gates Foundation. Again, am I going to be thrown? Is my video going to get tagged for misinformation, even though this is a quote from a major media news outlet? It broke in the Wall Street Journal. Bloomberg and the New York Times basically picked up the story and are using the same information from the Wall Street Journal. So three big corporate media outlets are saying this. I'm just repeating it, but I still might get pulled. I want everybody to be aware of how this works. Days before he died in New York jail, Epstein named a little-known biotech venture capitalist named Boris Nikolic as backup executor of his will. Who is this guy? Here's this photo. Again, this photo was also in the video that YouTube pulled down. This photo, not my photo. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays, also JP Morgan Chase, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, Epstein. This is taken in 2011. Okay. So what's key about this 2011 thing, this is 2 years, this photo with these guys, this is 2 years after he was convicted of sex with a minor in Florida, where he was given like 12 or 14 months or whatever of house arrest. Basically, he could leave jail every day, and literally left jail, and flight logs show he got on his plane, the Lolita Express. Probably by some accounts, some survivors, some victims, he was abusing children while in custody in Florida. Who gave him that sweetheart deal? William Acosta. William Acosta said in a quote, I was told Epstein was a CIA asset. William Acosta then was appointed by Trump to Trump's cabinet. When Epstein got arrested in 2019, Trump went, oh boy, we had no idea, and got rid of him. Which is, come on, that's bullshit. And these QAnon idiots think Trump had nothing to do with this. There's Bill Gates, again, 2011, 2 years after, convicted and served time for sex with a minor. And then here's Boris Nikolic, the Gates advisor and the executor of his will. Nikolic worked in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He worked in their foundation. Isn't that weird? Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? Again, not my photo. Didn't make this up. This is a matter of public record. You know what else is a matter of public record? Flight logs. Here's Bill Gates. This is a flight log. Anyone can get this on the internet now. From 2013. He flew to Epstein's Island. He flew on Epstein's plane to Epstein's Island. So Bill Gates is like, oh, gee, I didn't know. You could say, oh, Graham, it's just one photo. Sure, this is some photo. They didn't know. But really, 2 years after he's convicted, this guy becomes executor of Epstein, the most notorious pedophile the world has ever known. There's probably worse people, but this is the most notorious one the world has ever known thus far. 2 years after this photo was taken, he's on Epstein's plane. And sources within the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, as told to the Wall Street Journal, are saying these ties to Epstein are one of the reasons why she filed for divorce. Huh. But my last Bill Gates video gets pulled down, and this one might get pulled down too. In the days after the split was announced, a holding company that Bill Gates created transferred equity stakes in 4 different companies worth more than $2 billion in aggregate to Melinda French Gates, Bloomberg News has reported. Bloomberg. Everything I'm pulling you is from Bloomberg. Everything I've shown you is from either Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, or New York Times. It's mainly the Wall Street Journal, but Bloomberg and New York Times basically are taking that information and putting it out there themselves, which newspapers do all the time. The New York Times reported in October 2019 that the billionaire had met with Epstein several times and once stayed late at his New York townhouse. A spokeswoman for Microsoft Corp co-founder said at the time that the meetings had centered on philanthropy. Oh, philanthropy. That's what we're calling it? Okay. So, the New York Times reported in 2019 he met with Epstein several times, once stayed at his New York townhome late. We know he flew on his plane in 2013. We know they met in 2011. And a guy from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, come on, we're all supposed to. So Melinda Gates realized that her husband was friends with the filthiest, most awful creep person ever. This is the ruling class now. This is what the ruling class looks like. Bankers, treasury secretaries, big foundations, philanthropic foundations. Now we know too, one of the things Epstein would do, he had a fake hedge fund basically, and he would have these events or whatever, and he'd have rich and powerful people over to his home. His butler would come up. Now, this has all been verified by Epstein victims like Virginia Roberts Giuffre, Maria Farmer, other people like that. Would say, would you like a massage from a beautiful young woman? The guy go, yes. And the woman would then, offer and perform sex acts, and they would videotape it. And lo and behold, she would be a minor, a child. So now they had leverage on these people who then would invest in Epstein's. How did he make his money? By doing that. So we're supposed to believe Bill Gates didn't participate in any of that stuff. All the hanging out with him, the flying on the plane, right? The going to his New York apartment. Follow the money, connect the dots, find the truth. And yet, when I put out this video, Medical misinformation. Epstein pal Gates denies vaccines to poor countries due to a violation of our community guidelines. And in this video that they pulled, I showed that photo and the flight log that I just showed you. And I quoted this. Bill Gates says no to sharing vaccine formulas with global poor to end pandemic. This is in Salon. Health advocates blast Microsoft billionaire for saying patent protections on life-saving vaccines must remain. So when Salon does it and when health advocates blast, that's okay. When I do it, they pull my video and give me a copyright strike. You see how this bullshit works? So Melinda Gates and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and Salon are all saying the same things I'm saying on this show. All I'm adding is these are more than coincidences. That's my opinion. And a detective, any detective worth their salt would agree with me. We had one on the show 2 years ago. So my video gets pulled. I get a copyright strike for another video. But Melinda Gates has the same suspicions I do, it looks like. She's getting $2 billion. I get my videos pulled on a copyright strike, and I've been demonetized for 3 months. That's how the ruling class works. They fly on their filthy airplanes. They rape and sell children. They all hang out together because they're rich, soulless maggots. Maybe that's medical misinformation, that they're soulless maggots. Okay. I didn't name this guy Epstein's executor to his will. Huh. All the money, connect the dots, find the truth, folks. We'll see what happens with this video, but I might be deplatformed on YouTube. So please support us at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It's blockchain, it's cryptocurrency. They don't censor us there. We also have a Patreon. We have a Venmo. We have a PayPal. I'm going to keep covering this. It'd be great if Melinda Gates gave some of those billions of dollars she's going to get in a settlement to like some of Epstein's victims. That'd be great. She actually has hard evidence. If she has hard evidence that can convict her husband and other filthy pedophiles like him, and more importantly, end human trafficking and rescue children, if she's such a philanthropist, that's what she should do. Will she? I doubt it, because doing that would put her wealth at risk, which she will not do. She'll give some interview to Oprah and, oh, she'll be such a hero. He was a bad man, but she won't actually do anything to stop it, because she is, make no mistake, she is a part of the ruling class. She has profited from it. She has benefited from his wealth. Nobody would know or give a damn who she is if she wasn't married to Bill Gates. So if she's truly this philanthropist that cares about children and blah, 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 she could put an end to this, because there's no way she doesn't know something. If she truly doesn't know, but it's just like there's enough evidence to make me not want to be around this guy anymore, okay, you still should give up 95% of your money to help victims and end human trafficking. You could still do that. You could still do that. And still live a very, very comfortable life. Gee, what's 95% of $2 billion? Well, first of all, the Bill Gates fortune is somewhere in the neighborhood of $143 billion. So she gets half of that. So we're talking about $70 billion. So 5% of $70 billion is $3.5 billion. Man, I hope she can survive off of that. Oh, man. How are you going to get by on that? That's a tough, that's a pretty meager alimony check. Even if she just got the $2 billion, like let's say I'm going to put that quote, just gets the $2 billion that the New York Times reported he wired to her like last week or whatever. So 5% of $2 billion, I like doing quick math in my head, right? Would be $100 million. So if all she gets is $2 billion and gives away 95% of it, so if I got this right, 10% would be $200 million and half of that is $100 million, right? So that's 95%. Would be $1.9 billion she could give away, could make a lot of people's lives better, could end suffering, the suffering of sex trafficking, of children. But she'll just keep her foundation and her bullshit and her fancy house and her private jet and everything like that. That's what she'll do. Because she's part of the ruling class. She's no hero. Thanks for watching the show. Support what we do, because I never married a billionaire that's pals with a pedophile eugenicist. So I have to, what's the term I want? Oh, earn my money. Yeah, that's what I did. I earn my money. I work for it. I don't just marry horrible billionaires and then divorce them once I get enough evidence to get a good settlement. Yeah. Bill Gates is a piece of shit. So is Melinda Gates. She's a piece of shit. If you're part of the billionaire ruling class and you don't give all your money away to end homelessness or stop human trafficking or save the planet, I don't mean a foundation, any tax break, blah, blah. I mean, just give it away and live in a 3-bedroom condo. Do that. Give it away, Melinda, and live in a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath condo that's worth, $600,000-$700,000 or something like that. Do that. Do that. She's not going to. Thanks for watching the show. Support what we do, because I don't fly on pedophiles' private jets. And let's do what we can to take out the ruling class. Shave your knuckles for justice. Ba-boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.